Hello, College of the Desert students. Wendy Ansley here. The light is shining on in. I hear some birds singing. We have a well-rounded sequence today, and the theme for our sequence is yoga flow, consistency, and inspiration. Consistency, if we look at that word and we apply it to the four corners of our mat or in our life, we see that at the root of consistency is self-discipline. How important self-discipline is for health and wellness, how important it is for our movement to consistently practice movement, and how important it is as well, consistency with our spiritual life, our ability to reflect within, sometimes engage in meditation, okay? Consistency is the root of our scheduling, okay? Making good choices and developing habits, consistency. Inspiration. Inspiration is the feeling of enthusiasm. It has almost a rippling effect. It is contagious. Inspiration comes from within. But the two complement each other. Because with consistency in our life, taking care of ourselves in our life through all the dimensions of wellness, we often find inspiration from within. Here's a quote I want to share with you from a poet, Rumi, the poet Rumi. He says, "There is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you?" That's our ability to all nourish and kindle our own light. And often when we step on the four corners of our mat and through consistency and inspiration, we find and we nurture that light. Let us start with big toes touching, widen the knees. This is just a nice, well-balanced flow here. We're going to start off in wide-legged child's pose, Balasana here. Big toes touching, widen the knees, forehead to the ground. Maybe lightly draw the chin towards the chest here. And just breathe here. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Calm the mind and lengthen the spine. We're pressing through the palms, which are about shoulder width apart. The arms are straight. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we come deeper into the pose. Let's walk the hands over to the right here and feel that opening of that left side body. Inhale, exhale through the nose. And walk the hands now over to the left. The hands are still shoulder width apart. Press through the palms and feel that opening here of that right side body. Come back to center again. Send those hips back. Beautiful. Coming into a tabletop here, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hip. Let's tuck those toes and coming to a little dynamic spinal mobility. We're going to inhale, drop the chest, the tailbone comes out. We're looking up. Exhale, exaggerate, push away around the back. Inhale, lower the chest, tailbone comes out. Exhale, push away around the back. Inhale, drop the chest, tailbone comes out. Exhale, push away around the back. Inhale, drop the chest, tailbone out. Exhale, round the back, push away the tailbone in. Two more. Inhale, drop the chest. Exhale, push away. Inhale, drop the chest. Exhale, push away. Good. Come into our just little neutral tabletop. Walk the palms forward just a few inches. Lead with those hips and come into our first dynamic down dog. Feet are hip width apart. We're dynamically, good, bending those legs, lubricating those joints. Coming into a static hold. Now we press through those palms, we spread those fingers, middle finger in line with the shoulders. We engage those shoulders and we firm those thighs. We press those thighs back and up. We breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. For many of us, it's hands by the shins, the thighs. Some of us, hands by the ground. Feel that tailbone out and back. The good halfway lift, gaze forward and down. Exhale, come into a forward fold. For some of us, when we will do a little dynamic, we heel and toe. We heel and toe. Good. It's okay to gently bend those knees, and maybe the hands don't quite reach the floor here. Hips are over the ankles and the knees, or maybe we gently bend the knees to get the hands to the ground. Come into that stretch of the backside body. Come more to the midfoot. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Good. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, heart centered. Coming more to the top edge of the mat as we kind of explore some sun salutations here. I love that light shining through. Be the light. Let's start off with 2 cleansing breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Hands heart centered. Lower our head to our fingertips and just take a moment and set your own intention for your practice. Remembering the gifts of consistency and inspiration. Remembering that you can encourage and you can inspire others. It is contagious. Perhaps to take a moment to carry a friend or a family member in your heart right now throughout our practice. Gently look up. Here we are in Tadasana. In Tadasana, people can often start feet hip width apart, whatever feels more natural. I like to often go with my kind of big toes touching, a space, a room for the heels here. But we decide, for many of us with newer to yoga, Tadasana, the feet hip width apart, gently bend the knees can really help a lot. Palms are open. Good. Standing nice and tall. Awaken the arches of the feet, and let's lower our pinky, our fourth, our third middle finger, toe, and big toe. Good. Pada Bandha. Awaken the arches of the feet. Step that left foot over. Clasp a hold of that left wrist as we draw those arms to the right, opening that left side body. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently come back center. Step that right foot over. Now, clasp a hold of that right wrist here to the left here and feel that opening of the right side body. Come back center. Inhale, draw that amazing energy up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, the thighs, some of us the ground. Good. Framing the feet, we're going to step back into Phalakasana, plank here. Good. Good. Shoulders over the wrist here. Belly button to the spine and heels over the balls of the feet. The whole body is engaged. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Core stability. Gently lower onto our stomachs. Forehead to the ground, feet hip width apart. Arms out by the sides, come onto the fingertips. Forehead to the ground. Gently draw that left foot up and over, and let's lower the right ear or backside of the head to the ground as we come into this little spinal mobility, lumbar mobility. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Beautiful. Come back center. Draw that right foot up and over. Lower that left ear, the backside of the head, to the mat here. Beautiful. Come back center. Forehead to the mat here. Good. Hands by the chest. Come into tabletop. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog here. Maybe we need to do a little dynamic down dog here. Yes. Come into a static hold. This is where we press through those palms. We spread those fingers. We root through all the fingers a little bit more with the second and the third fingers. Are my heels in line with my pinky toes? Good. Continue to press those thighs back. Feel the stretch in the back side of the body. Let's stay here several breaths. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gazing up at the hands. Let's walk it forward. I'm going to lead with the foot that I don't want to lead with. Walk it forward. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel that tailbone out and back. Gaze forward and down. Exhale, come into a deeper forward fold. Keep those hips over the knees and the ankles. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Exhale, heart centered. So proud of us. Good. Step that left foot over as we come into this little lateral expression. Clasp a hold of that left wrist. Feel that left side body opening. Come back center. Step that right foot over. Clasp a hold of that right wrist. Feel that right side body opening. And come back center. Inhale, draw that amazing energy up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into Phalakasana. Good. Whole body is engaged. We're going to add some plank drills here. Let's draw the left knee towards the right tricep. Now the left knee towards the left tricep. Good. Round that upper back. Now the left knee towards the chest and the nose. Draw that right knee on the exhale to the left tricep. Now to the right tricep. Good. And now to the chest and the nose. Draw the left knee here to the right tricep. Good. To the left tricep. Awesome. And now round that upper back to the chest and the nose. Take the right knee to the left tricep. Now to the right tricep. Now to the chest and the nose. Come back into plank. Stay here several breaths. Whole body is involved, engaged. Gently lower onto the stomachs. Extend those arms almost like a T here under the fingertips. Feet hip width apart. Spinal mobility. Again, draw that left foot up and over. Maybe lower that left ear. The back side of the head to the ground. As we find our breath here. Awakening our lower back. Come back center. Draw that right foot up and over. Lower that left ear, the back side of the head to the ground. Come back center. Taking that left hand kind of by the chest here, we're going to come into a shoulder release. And we're really pushing into that left hand. We're just coming to that right side body. Here we are. So the right arm is extended from the shoulder here. And we're feeling the shoulder stretch here. Now, can we deepen it? Draw that left arm up. Good. And this is where we're going to adjust. I'm going to kind of lower that right hand. I'm clasping the hands together here, feeling the shoulders opening and even a release of the neck here. Maybe lowering the right side of the head to the ground. Good. Shoulder blades towards one another. Incredible shoulder release. Come back center. I love it. Forehead to the mat. Good. Right hand by the side. And this is where we're going to push now over to that left side body. And in itself, you feel a stretch of the left shoulder. Now we're going to draw that right arm up. For some of us, it just might be here today. But eventually we kind of shimmy ourselves. We interlace those fingers. We feel the hands come towards one another, shoulder blades towards one another. And we're on our left side body, maybe lowering the left head towards the ground. Finding our breath. This is a form of shoulder therapy. Gently come back center. Beautiful. Great job, guys. Feet hip width apart, forehead to the ground. Hands by the chest. Lead with those hips. Come into Adho Mukha, down dog. Maybe adjust those hands a bit. Let's do a cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Preparing for low lunge, we're going to stay in down dog, but our feet are coming together for this transition. Here we are, firming those thighs. Heels towards the ground. Take that tailbone and press it back and down. Inhale, draw the left leg up to hip level. Mindfully draw the left knee, the chest, and the nose. Round that upper back. Left foot next to the left hand. Hands to the hips for stability. 1 to 2 dynamics. Inhale, gather that amazing energy up. Press through the top of the back foot to release that back hip. Root through the 4 corners of the front foot to draw length in the spine. The hands are up almost like you're holding a beach ball. Draw the belly button, the spine, a little bit of core engagement too. Hands to the hips. Frame the foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, back leg straight and engaged. Press through those palms. Find your way into down dog. Staying in down dog now, the feet come together. Heels close to the ground. Inhale, draw that right leg up. Exhale, draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand, hands to the hips. 1 to 2 dynamics. Now inhale, gather that energy up. Again, press to the top of the back foot. Feel that release of the back hip. The arms are up almost like you're holding a beach ball. Shoulders away from the ears and lengthen the spine. The whole body is involved in this preparatory low lunge. Hands to the hips, frame the foot. Press into the ground with the hands. Come back into Adho Mukha. Good. In down dog. Let's exaggerate the heels now to the outer edges of the mat. Feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Tailbone back and down. Pubis bone back and up. Gently lower the knees to the ground. We're going to sit back in the heels here. Good. And the feet are in plantar flexion. We're going to add a little wrist flexibility, a little wrist strength, a little wrist mobility. So the hands are touching one another. Fingers are going to be pointed towards you. So the hands are touching. They're actually touching and fingers, so there's not a space here. The hands are touching. And we're going to rock forward and back. This wrist exercise comes from Iyengar Yoga here. So we're going to rock forward and back. Many of us are going to keep rocking forward and back. A few of us, different levels in here, are going to tuck those toes and keep the feet together here. As we come into a down dog with the hands together. Good. Good. So the fingers are coming towards us. It's a form of down dog, really just for the wrists, stability, strength, and flexibility. Stay here several breaths. Gently release. Something to work towards. As we're thinking of hand and wrist care, let's do a few wrist circles. Proud of you guys. Let's tuck those toes. And I like to connect to my toes, my arches, my ankles. Let's do the arms up here. Let's just do a few dynamic forward and back. So we're lowering the the glutes to our heels here. Good. And we're going to rock. Some of us are going to have to use the hands to the ground to help us roll onto the feet here. But if we can, we'll do one more where we sit back. Some of us lower the hands to the ground, but we're going to work on rolling over, ankle mobility, and to a stand. Cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. I love it. Let's come to the center of our mat. And some of us, I'd like you to, if you have your strap, you're going to utilize your strap. We're going to add our Uttanasana with the bind because the whole body is going to be engaged. What is yoga? Union of the body, the mind, and the spirit. Sometimes when we do a posture in multiple dimensions, we explore that. Feet are hip width apart. Pada Bandha. Again, awaken the arches, lower pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Big toe to the ground. Inhale, draw that energy up. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down. Bending the left leg here. Take the strap and draw towards the strap here on the sacrum. This is where many of us are going to interlace, draw that left hand and find the strap. A few of us can even clasp the hands. So we're going to soften the shoulders and maybe the hands come to the crevice of the left hip, shoulder over the shoulder, heart towards the sky. Uttanasana, forward fold with a bind. Stay here several breaths. Gently release. And we're going to stay in this forward fold. Maybe adjust the strap here to the left side. Come into this forward fold, hips over the knees and the ankles come more to the midfoot. Gently bend the knees, gather that energy up. Exhale, heart centered. Proud of you guys. Cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gather that energy up. Exhale, swan dive down. Gently bend that right leg. And draw the strap to the sacrum. I love it. Good. If you can, take the right hand and clasp the strap. Good. Or interlace those fingers. Come more to that right crevice. Shoulder over the shoulder. Heart towards the sky. Stay here several breaths. Uttanasana, forward fold with the mind. So good for torso rotation. Gently release. Lower the strap. Come more to the midfoot. Feel that stretch of the back side of the body. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, heart centered. So proud of you. Gently removing the strap here. Ooh, and we're gonna set up the blocks that are about shoulder width apart. I have a guest visitor who's going to be coming to us. Hero. The blocks are shoulder width apart. We have enough room for the shoulders to come through in chaturanga or partial chaturanga as we add this vinyasa. So the feet are hip width apart. We stand behind the blocks. Inhale, we gather that energy up. Exhale, we swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel that tailbone out and back. Heel of the hands are on the block, and we mindfully move to down dog, Adho Mukha. Transition to Phalakasana. Hands come to the center of the blocks, and obviously we can do this without blocks, right? Some of us are going to gently lower to our knees as we bend those elbows, and some of us are just drawing the sternum and the chest forward in chaturanga. Shoulders in line with those elbows. Press through the tops of the feet. Upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha. Press to the tops of the feet, pelvis forward. Broaden the collarbones. Gaze up, look up. Arm balance and back bend. Exhale, come over the tops of the feet. Find your way into down dog. Stay here several breaths. Transition, we're going to walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Exhale, heart centered. Good. We're going to keep one block out here. I'm going to mirror you guys. The block is going to come behind us. Here I am in the center of my mat. And the block is going to come behind as a prop for me in Malasana here as I sit on the block. The feet are hip width apart, heels in, toes out. Lift up those arches, spread those toes, Pada Bandha. Drawing the energy from the ground. Inhale, arms up. Let's draw the palms together. Exhale, begin to lower. This is very important for ankle mobility. Here we have the block where we can sit under, and some of us are struggling so much, maybe we need to come forward with the hands and just find our way here. But eventually, heels to the ground, elbows on the inside. And some of us maybe even remove the block. Malasana, incredible for the ankle mobility. It's a hip opener. Close those eyes. Inhale, you can feel the prana, the breath, rise from the tailbone to the crown of the head. On the exhale, the breath comes back down the spine. We're going to stay here 10 breaths. Inhale, roots and rise. The movement specialists love Malasana prayer squats. So good for our biomechanics, our movement patterns. Heel toe it in. Coming to the edge of the mat, we're going to explore Vasisthasana, side plank. Good. Coming to the edge of the mat, Tadasana, feet hip width apart or feet together, you choose. Inhale, gather that incredible energy up. Draw length in the spine. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, we're going to step back into Phalakasana plank. Good. Vasisthasana, side plank. We're going to lightly draw the right hand center just a couple inches. So the heel of the hand directly under the shoulder. We're going to press outer edges of that right foot, and we're lifting that right hip away from the ground. For many of us, we're going to start with that left foot coming across like a kickstand. And maybe that left hand on the hip, stable right shoulder. Many of us are staying here today. For some of us that have taken yoga before, we're going to come and explore Vasisthasana. Eventually, maybe extending that arm. Eventually, gazing up, pushing that bottom hip away from the ground, strengthening the shoulders, the hips, the core stability. Gently lower hand to the hip. Adjust yourself as we come back to forward plank. Lower the hips a bit, belly button the spine. Draw that left hand center a few inches. Press outer edge of that left foot. Lift that bottom hip away from the ground. Draw that right foot across the cross here to give us stability. Kickstand. Right hand on the hip. Stable left shoulder. A few of us will explore that side plank, lifting the hip away from the ground, extending that right arm up, come into side plank. Core, shoulder, hip strength. Gently, hand to the hip, come out of that posture. Find our way into Phalakasana. Good. Coming into a down dog. Adjusting those feet hip width apart. I want you to feel those inner thighs spiraling back here. Firming those thighs. Good. Tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Tailbone out and back. Exhale, come into our forward fold. Maybe give yourself some wrist relief here from the side planks. So press the tops of the hands to the mat. Rock side to side. Gently bend the knees one up. Exhale, heart centered. Pyramid pose. We're going to take a block out here for pyramid pose. If you have a block, we'll utilize a block. Blocks become extension of our body and help us find our form. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. We're going to start with the left foot out in front. Draw that right foot back. Left heel intersects with back heel. Maybe we need to take that right foot a little bit wider. For some of us, they're having a hard time keeping both hips facing forward. Integrity of that legs. What does that mean? The legs aren't bent, okay? Drawing that energy from the ground. We're going to press outer edge of the back foot. We're going to root through the four corners of the front foot. We're going to draw those arms up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, belly button the spine, back is flat. For many of us, we're coming to the block, and some of us may even have to turn the block higher. We're going to come to that left midfoot. Good. And feel those outer hips almost come towards one another and those inner thighs touching. Feel the internal rotation of the back leg. This is a major hamstring stretch. For some of us, we're going to come a little bit deeper, but we're going to still come more to that left midfoot, leveling the pelvis. Maybe walk those hands back a little bit deeper. Sternum and chest close to the shin. On the transition, draw those arms up, belly button the spine. Inhale, root and rise. Powerful. Hands to the hips, step it forward. Good. Adjust the block here. Step that left foot back. Here we are. Parsvottanasana. Good. Press outer edge of the back foot. Root to the four corners of the front foot. Both hips facing forward, belly button to the spine. Inhale, draw those arms up. Exhale, come forward. Come to the block. Come more to the midfoot of that front foot. Level that pelvis. Good. Good. So this is kind of like a little half pyramid. Feel that stretch of the hamstrings. For some of us, we may come a little bit deeper. Still, we're coming more to that right midfoot. Good. Sternum and chest closer to the shin, but we're still leveling the pelvis. We feel those inner thighs almost coming towards one another. Find the breath. Inhale, exhale through the nose. On the transition, draw those arms up, belly button the spine. Inhale, root and rise. Hands to the hips. Step it forward. Powerful, beautiful. Removing the block. Here I am to the back edge of my mat. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, draw that energy up. Exhale, I'm swan diving down and I'm walking the hands forward. I'm going to actually walk it forward into a Phalakasana plank here. Push away, dome that the upper back here a bit. Draw the belly button the spine and engage the quadriceps. stay here several breaths. Now I'm going to gently lower my stomach to the ground as we explore Cobra here. This is a beautiful way to come into some back flexibility, back strength. Forehead, we're resting to the ground. Feet are hip width apart onto the mats here. Plantar flexion of the feet. Pressing, we're going to take those hands now, maybe towards the center of the ribs, an inch or two below the bra strap. Press through the tops of the feet. Look, my knees are off the ground. My hands are hovering here. Elbows close to the sides, strengthening the back. Now I'm going to press my hands to the ground, elbows close to the sides. Follow my breath. Inhale, lengthen. Pubis bone stays rooted onto the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Pubis bone stays rooted. My knees are not touching the ground. Good. Inner thighs spiraling back. Tips of the shoulder blades come forward as we open the heart, open the chest. Gaze up and look up. We'll stay here several breaths. Gently lower. Beautiful. Bhujangasana Cobra. Rest the forehead to the ground. Let's do this again. Draw the hands back to the center of the ribs. Press through the tops of the feet. First, hover the hands off the ground. Now press the hands into the ground. Inhale, follow the breath. Inhale, follow the breath. Pubis bone stays rooted. Elbows close to the side. Arms lightly bent. Gaze up. Look up. Sacrum coming towards the knees. Broaden the collarbones. Open the chest. Open the heart. Beautiful way to explore spinal extension, which is so good for the back. Rest the forehead to the ground. Here our arms are kind of like a 90-degree angle here. We're going to come into a little light hip opener. We're going to add a hip and shoulder and a twist. We're going to start bending that left leg so that knee is in line with the hip, ankle underneath the knee. This is a soft hip opener. We're going to stay here several breaths. We're going to press that left hand down, and we're taking that right arm and threading that right arm underneath here. So we're coming into shoulder and hip. Now I'm going to take my head and either rest it into my left hand, into my left forearm, or into the crevice of my left elbow here. We're going to stay here several breaths as we integrate just a real light hip, a real light shoulder opener. Right hand comes to the left knee here, and we're going to extend this left arm to the side here. So now we're coming into a hip, shoulder opener, and a mid-thoracic twist. So I'm gazing over that left shoulder, feeling the twist from my upper and my middle back. We're going to stay here while exhale longer than the inhale. Gently release. Come back center. We're going to draw now the right knee in line with that right hip. Good. Breathe into the soft hip opener. We're going to press that right hand down and we're going to thread now this left shoulder coming across the body here and either resting the head into the right hand or the forearm or the elbow crease. So we're in a soft hip and shoulder opener. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Just appreciate this light little posture here. This little stretch. Now we're going to deepen this. So we're going to take the left hand to the right knee and we're extending this right arm back here. As we explore this little spinal twist, gaze over the right shoulder. Exhale longer than the inhale. Beautiful way to explore a hip, shoulder, and spinal twist today. Gently release. Here's my little hero. We're going to find our way into wide-legged child's pose. So we're going to send those hips back. Big toes touching. Wide in the knees. So now we're finding symmetry. We did a twist, but now we're going to breathe evenly on the right and the left side of the body. Hands are shoulder width apart, forehead to the ground. Send those hips back and breathe evenly into the spine. Find our way onto our stomachs or our sides or our backs, however we want to explore our Shavasana. Sometimes when I lie on my stomachs, I like to kind of interlace my fingers and relax my head. This is a moment of regeneration, just letting go. Our theme today was consistency and inspiration. The heart of consistency is self-discipline. It's really about taking care of you. And inspiration, again, is that enthusiasm that is contagious. Take a moment to nourish your body, your mind, and your spirit so you can be the light, so you can inspire others. Let everything go. You're going to stay here 3-5 minutes, as long as you would like today. Just inspire your souls, your spirits, your outlook on life.